Soulja Boy, get a chest. And you gotta have more than 2 songs to be 35.
Things between Soulja Boy and Marlon Wayans are spinning out of control, and it's looking like this beef could turn ugly fast. What started as some online jabs has now exploded into something way more serious. This feud has been simmering for a minute, but it just hit a whole new level. After trading shots back and forth online, Soulja Boy decided to cross a line nobody expected. Instead of just roasting like usual, he went way too far. He dragged Marlon's transgender son into the mess. That's wild. Big Draco jumped on X and posted, "Ain't your son a T that sucked D?" at Marlon Wayans. The internet went crazy after that. And just to make sure everyone caught it, he doubled down by posting screenshots of articles about Marlon publicly supporting his 23-year-old son, Kai. But it didn't end there. Soulja just kept pushing it. The tension is through the roof, and fans are shocked by how fast this spiraled.
Absolutely. I just never forget there was a Vibe cover with him and Soulja Boy that made me kind of go,
Soulja Boy just couldn't stop himself. He kept firing shots online, saying, "That mess runs in the family, huh?" And even mocking Marlon Wayans by adding, "No wonder you like dressing up as a bee, it's in your blood now." The internet couldn't believe how far he took it. But Marlon wasn't about to stay quiet after that. He clapped back on X, dropping both truth and heavy shade at the same time. He wrote, "You know you can get canceled for transphobic talk like this. Lucky for you, you don't even have a career to lose." Then he hit him where it hurts. "Apparently, you've been canceled for the last 17 years. Crank That was 2007. We still waiting." Ouch. And just to twist the knife a little deeper, Marlon reposted Soulja's tweet with another jab. If Soulja Boy had a career, he could get canceled for this. Luckily, he ain't been relevant since 2007. Fans went wild over that one.
Based on YouTube and grinding as a teenager in the hood, and I made it, and you mad.
Truth is, Soulja Boy's been struggling to stay in the spotlight for a long time now. What's the last song he dropped? Nobody really remembers. Even though he keeps reminding people that he started viral hits and made internet history, folks just aren't tuning in like before. It's looking rough for Big Draco right now. By the next morning, it looked like reality hit Soulja Boy hard. He must have realized he went way too far. He jumped back on X, deleted every post, and tried to smooth things over with a half-hearted apology. He wrote, "I apologize for crashing out. I just be trying to defend myself, but sometimes I take it too far. Back to the music and TV shows. Love y'all." But nobody was buying that for a second. Because right after apologizing, he tried to justify his rant by claiming Marlon dissed me first in an interview. Like, what kind of apology is that? It sounded more like damage control than real remorse. Fans could see right through it.
Sell your car, rob you, and suck your all at the same time. Soulja Boy.
So how did this mess even start? Let's rewind. The tension first sparked back in January when Marlon Wayans appeared on 101.1 The Wiz talking about Soulja performing at an event. During that chat, Marlon went full comedian mode and started clowning Soulja, calling him washed up and saying he was just chasing a paycheck. He even joked that Soulja probably didn't even know what kind of event it was until he got there. That one definitely stung. And since everyone knows Soulja Boy's ego could fill a stadium, the moment he caught wind of those comments, he snapped. He rushed to X and fired back saying, "Marlon Wayans, you a B, and you not." That was the moment the feud went from playful to personal, and it's been chaos since. Soulja Boy kept spiraling, firing off another wild message saying, "Shut up, ninja, keep selling your soul and doing what the higher-ups tell you." But Marlon Wayans wasn't backing down this time. He clapped back instantly, replying, "Boy, go sit your little self down somewhere and hush." From that moment, it was all gas, no brakes. Marlon went full comedian mode and turned the whole beef into a digital comedy special. He started roasting Soulja with old pictures, posting one of Soulja hugged up with another dude and captioning it, "I'm sorry, what? Looking like you'd do anything for some trouble." Fans were losing it in the comments. Then Marlon took it further. He posted old DMs showing Soulja asking to promote his 2017 Netflix movie Naked. That had the internet screaming. And when people thought he was done, Marlon zoomed in on Soulja's teeth, cracking jokes and saying, "Tell me Soulja Boy didn't smoke crack. Look at them marks." He was ruthless with it.
First of all, you know, the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying.
At that point, Soulja had no choice but to fall back. He deleted his tweets and even reshared one of Marlon's posts with a surprising comment. This actually made me laugh. Much love to you, fam, at Marlon Wayans. I'm done being mad." Just like that, Big Draco waved the white flag and called it quits, for now. But let's be honest, Marlon didn't really expose anything new. He just amplified what people had been whispering about for years. Folks online have long thrown rumors around about Soulja's private life, hinting that he might be playing for both sides. And this isn't even the first time someone said it. Remember that guy named William who once tried to claim he had proof? Yeah, that name popped right back up once this feud reignited. The streets are definitely talking again. So this dude named William popped back on Tasha K's Messy podcast and dropped a bombshell. He claimed that he and Soulja Boy had a little situation one night at an event, and according to him, Soulja was all in behind closed doors with zero hesitation. The internet went wild after that claim.
I need a crack and a meth head all mixed together. You're perfect. I need someone that looks like a wet Muppet.
And then there's Vivica Fox, a straight-up legend in the game, who had folks side-eyeing Soulja Boy years ago. Remember when she spoke about that old XXL magazine cover with Soulja Boy and 50 Cent? Vivica said the energy between them was given heavy DL vibes, hinting that something more might have been going on behind the scenes. That comment had people talking for months. But let's be real though, the entertainment world is messy beyond belief. Word spreads fast, secrets don't stay secrets, and rappers love to act like they're the biggest players out here. But behind closed doors, it's a whole different story. So when Marlon Wayans threw that slick jab, he didn't really expose anything new. He just turned up the volume on what people had already been whispering in the streets for years. And honestly, Soulja Boy's name always finds its way into some kind of drama. One of the wildest stories tied to him went down at his own house, and it played out like something straight out of a movie.
You can't do two songs, and I only remember one of them. Watch me, you.
Picture this, Soulja Boy was on top of the world, gearing up to drop his new album. To celebrate, he hosted a release party at one of his clubs. The place was packed, bottles popping, music blasting, people dancing, and the whole night shining like a scene from a blockbuster. But what happened next? That's where things got real. After the party wrapped up, Soulja Boy and his crew headed back to the crib, still hyped from the night's energy. Everyone was chilling, laughing, and winding down when one of his boys suddenly leaned over and said, "Big Soulja, I think some fans might have followed us home." At first, Soulja brushed it off. He figured his homie was just tripping from all the noise and excitement. But then, out of nowhere, boom! A loud noise echoed through the house, snapping everybody to attention.
In that exact moment, Soulja was in his home studio with his right-hand man, A-Rap. They froze for a second, and then Soulja peeked outside. He spotted shadows creeping around the property, moving suspiciously near the back. His instincts kicked in immediately. Something was definitely off. He turned to A-Rap and said, "Yo, pass me the tank." Without hesitation, A-Rap handed it over. Soulja wasn't about to sit there and find out what was going on. He stepped outside and started firing shots into the dark. Chaos broke out instantly. One of the intruders dropped while the others sprinted off into the night. When the smoke cleared and everything went quiet, Soulja walked up to the downed figure. He reached down, pulled off the mask, and boom, his heart dropped. He actually knew this dude. The masked man turned out to be someone named Droop, a face Soulja actually recognized. Fast forward a bit, and later on, Soulja retold this whole wild story in an interview. But when someone straight up asked him if he really shot somebody that night, he froze for a second. He dodged the question, then said, "I mean, I don't really want to speak on that." That hesitation had everybody side-eyeing the situation. But here's where it all flipped. Droop, the same guy Soulja allegedly shot, came forward with his side of the story, and it was totally different. According to Droop, there was no break-in, no robbery, none of that. He claimed he and his crew were actually part of Soulja Boy's own circle. They weren't randoms from the street, they were signed to his label as dancers. Then things got messy.
Droop said that during Soulja's album release party, he and his people were vibing until they suddenly heard one of their own tracks playing, except this time, Soulja had slapped his verse on it. The problem? Droop said Soulja never told them he was going to use their song. He just took it, stamped his name on it, and dropped it like it was his own hit. So naturally, Droop and his crew were fuming. Droop, being the one to handle business, decided to confront Soulja directly. That's when their stories completely split in two. Soulja claims Droop and his people tried to rob him that night, but Droop tells it differently. He says he was invited to the house to talk things out. According to him, the convo got heated fast. He allegedly punched Soulja first, and instead of squaring up, Soulja pulled out the burner. Droop said he still stood his ground and hit him again before things took a dangerous turn. The story was wild, and fans didn't know who to believe. And that's when everything went completely left. Gunfire erupted, chaos broke out, and Droop got hit. But instead of going down right there, he somehow managed to drag himself to the car where one of his boys was waiting. They sped off to the hospital, hoping he'd survive the night. It was pure mayhem. But when Droop finally woke up, things took an even darker twist. He wasn't just lying in a hospital bed, he was in handcuffs. Turns out, while Droop was fighting for his life, Soulja Boy had already told the cops his version of the story. And according to that report, Droop was the aggressor. Police said Droop was there trying to rob Soulja Boy, and they hit him with a heavy attempted robbery charge. That kind of charge could have easily landed him 25 years behind bars. But Droop wasn't about to take that lying down. He was ready to fight back. So he called in a legal powerhouse, Brian Steele, the same attorney known for helping Young Thug navigate some serious legal heat. Steele came in swinging, challenging the whole case from top to bottom. His first question to prosecutors was sharp and simple. Where's the evidence? And guess what? The room went silent. No proof, no solid evidence, nothing that backed up Soulja Boy's story. The silence spoke louder than anything, and that's when people started wondering if the truth about that night was way messier than it seemed. With the courtroom going silent and no hard proof backing up Soulja Boy's version, things started to shift fast. Droop's lawyer pressed the issue, demanding video footage, shell casings, anything that could prove a break-in ever happened, but nothing came up. It was looking shaky for Big Draco's story. Rumors started swirling online that Soulja might have exaggerated parts of what went down to protect his image. Blogs and gossip pages lit up with headlines like, "Did Soulja Boy lie about the home invasion?" And fans were debating non-stop in the comments. Some were defending him, saying he did what he had to do to protect himself. Others claimed he set the whole thing up to cover a fight gone wrong. As the case dragged on, Droop's charges quietly disappeared. And that's when the internet went wild again. Droop started posting clips online talking about how he was set up by someone who couldn't handle being confronted like a man. Even though he never dropped names, everybody knew exactly who he was talking about. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy stayed quiet. No tweets, no interviews, no live streams. It was like he disappeared off the grid for a while. People close to him said he was trying to keep his head down and focus on his music and business moves. But the damage was already done. His name was back in controversy, and folks weren't forgetting anytime soon. By the end of it all, the whole situation left a stain on Soulja's rep. What was supposed to be a comeback era turned into a storyline full of drama, bullets, and accusations. And with Droop back online telling his side louder than ever, it felt like this chapter was far from over. Turns out, the prosecution had nothing solid to stand on. Realizing their case was falling apart, they cut a deal. Droop would serve just 1 year, including the 9 months he'd already done behind bars. After that, he walked free. But before anyone could even breathe, another voice stepped into the chaos, A-Rab. Now by this point, A-Rab and Soulja Boy weren't even tight anymore. They'd fallen out long before the drama exploded, so he had no reason to lie for him. But when A-Rab finally spoke up about that night, his version shocked everybody. According to A-Rab, real masked intruders broke into the house, and Soulja's quick reaction might have actually saved their lives. When A-Rab described it, his voice shook like he was reliving the whole thing in real time. You could hear the fear still in his tone. It sounded real, not rehearsed. Still, even with A-Rab back in Soulja's story, nobody could say with absolute certainty what really went down that night.
The police couldn't piece it all together, and the public was split. Half believed Droop, half believed Soulja Boy. The only thing everyone agreed on was that it was one of the craziest moments in hip-hop history. In the end, the legal system sided with Soulja Boy, and Droop was the one who had to take the fall. The case closed, but the whispers never stopped. Fans kept dissecting every interview, every post, every rumor, trying to figure out where the truth really lies. And that right there is how one wild night turned into one of the most talked about scandals in rap. If you made it this far, drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think really happened that night? Was Soulja defending himself or hiding something bigger? Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and keep that notification bell on, because the next story might be even crazier.